You want to hear a story? Well, I got a story for you. I parked my car perfectly in an available space across the street from the oldest church in the south end of Boston. Now, to the left of me walked a very attractive male in his late 20s that resembled a century turning over in its grave. Looked like he'd been beaten up by life. His face told the story of his war, that he was high on drugs. Drugs that had psychological credibility, which lured him into the purple state of his mind, this place where we learn our fears, this prison for users. Trust me, I know what an addict looks like. I remember my mom before she died. For the life of me, I can't remember the last time she hugged me. So I wondered, what was he on? And if he sniffed coke, white girls, snowy carcasses, and all the whistles and bells of getting high. So I got out of my car, walked towards him in the way I needed to go. As I passed, he looked at me like I was beautiful, and he was mystified. He said, in a voice made of high definition, "Well, hey, hey!" And I said, "Hi." Now, from what I could see, he was no different from me. We both reside in the dusk of our minds, this Judas wilderness, this place where I fondle words and I find myself. For him, it's probably the space between the pipe, his lips, and where he loses himself and discovers the science of angels in the presence of God through a man-made eye. So I continue to walk down the street like I normally do, reciting poetry out loud for about 10 minutes, give or take, until I reached the corner of the street where I work. I looked down at the ground, I saw the coolest shadow. It was him. I looked up, and to my surprise, all I could see is his lackadaisical smile in his eyes that changed like mood rings, staring directly in my face. I couldn't help but think, if he could love these 911 eyes staring back at him in my left-handed personality, or was he high enough just to know it's the cover and not give a fuck about what it said inside the book? Or maybe he's already read me. So I asked him, "Bruh, are you following me?" Without a moment's stall, he replied, "Yes." And he asked, "Are you crazy?" Taken aback, I said, "To some, maybe. But to others, I'm a spoken word artist." Then he says, "You want to go get breakfast?" Puzzled, judgmental, and full off of poetry food, I laughed to myself and I wondered, God damn it, who's paying? See, I grew from a ghetto garden and I was raised by poverty, prostitutes, and pimps. Money was never the root to all evil, but it was an issue, an ongoing problem. And problems make the worst companions. So after the morning laughter, I snuck in a question and I asked him, "Are you high? And if so, what do you want?" I knew it wasn't weed because I did that. He said it was hard. I said, "What is hard?" He said, "Cocaine." I said, "Nigga, crack?" "Yes, crack." "Come on, let's go get breakfast." I explained to him how life ain't a race, but that shit is a chase and we all got dreams to catch. And I would love to, but I got this thing that I just can't shake. And sometimes, well, it gets in the way. It's called a job. Now, between him being high and me being insane, I'm in a poet. I thought him and I make the perfect match or a recipe for disaster. So here is where Jesus finally takes the wheel and our conversation ends in a bread basket. The sign above says, "Breakfast at Tiffany."